and RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is doing fantastic. I guess we're calling this one Manifest by the Power of Our Consciousness, Goddard, at least something in that genre. Because, and frankly, this hasn't been decided until I actually decide to upload this video, and, a lot of things can change from here to there, but that is my intention. The show's going to be very around a Goddard piece that has to do with manifestation, and really one of the problem spots for us and I keep hitting my headphones, this is awesome. One of the problem spots for a lot of us as we try to develop ourselves and move through these difficulties, right? So this kind of talks to some of them, and then one thing I kind of wanted to also caveat, if you will, is to me anyways, there's a big difference between manifesting and there shouldn't be, and that's my point, but that's what I'm working on right now, I think. There's, to me, a large difference between like manifesting a job, a car, a thing, even money for the most part. Wealth is different to me than money, so there's a trick there that I'm digging into, wealth. And then the other one for me is the specific someone, love, true love, someone that I can grow old with. That kind of concept of like a best friend, a companion, a lover, all the good stuff, like just built into one person and, just kind of finish out this stint, hopefully enjoy a lot of cool stuff along the way. Well, that and wealth basically have a little bit of an emotional attachment to it. It's not just a thing. Things are easy to manifest for a lot of people, right? Because there's no real emotion attached to it. And I think the emotion is kind of what indicates where some of our problems are. It matters too much. If you've ever tried to give advice to someone and you find yourself giving advice and at the very end of it you're like, yeah, I really don't care either way, like you probably just gave really sound advice, frankly. It's when it matters to you that now there's an attachment, now there's a filter, now there's waves or extra stuff added to it. So whatever you're trying to manifest, specific persons are a real common one, but money's another, obviously, and all sorts of other things. This kind of reading that I'm doing with Goddard, so I'm going to do a little of his reading, which is tough, so I'm going to do my best with it. And then on top of that, I've got like some kind of thoughts around what he's kind of saying. And so I think it's worthy of that, and it's worth the time. So I hope you guys are cool with going along with me on this little journey. But I actually think there's a lot to come from just this little area when it comes to the handbrake things that are happening to us in our manifestations, the things that we're holding ourselves back on, the place where we're dragging an anchor, the place where we're dragging our foot. You're riding your bike and you're dragging your foot, right? Like we're slowing ourselves down, and we don't need to. So these are some of the things that I think kind of speak to that. And this is Goddard, so please kind of bear with me and me trying to read Goddard. So on top of that, there's that level of complexity. It's like in the Olympics for this read, it's a level 4. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this is Jesus' simple message to man. Men are but garments that the impersonal being I am, the presence that men call God. Let's do that sentence again. Men are but garments that the impersonal being I am, the presence that men call God, dwells in. Each garment has certain limitations. In order to transcend these limitations and give expression to that which, as man, you find yourself incapable of doing, you take your attention away from your present limitations, your conception of yourself, and you merge yourself in the feelings of being that which you desire. Just how this desire or newly attained consciousness will embody itself, no man knows. For I, or the newly attained consciousness, has ways that ye not know yet. Its ways are past finding out. Do not speculate as to the how of this consciousness embodying itself, for no man is wise enough to know the how. Speculation is proof that you have not attained the naturalness of being the thing desired, and so are filled with doubts. Let me say that sentence one more time. The whole rest of this doesn't have to make sense. It's the context, but speculation is proof that you have not attained to the naturalness of being the thing desired, and so you are filled with doubts. You are told, he who lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, that gives to all liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given unto him. But let him ask not doubting, for he who doubts is as a wave of the sea that is tossed and battered by the winds. And let not such a one think that he shall, for only upon the rock of faith can anything be established. Ooh, I totally screwed that up, didn't I? And let not one think he shall receive anything from the Lord. That helps. You can see why this statement is made, for only upon the rock of faith can anything be established. If you have not the consciousness of the thing, you have not the cause or foundation upon which the thing is erected. You can see why this statement is made. For only upon the rock of faith can anything be established. If you have not the consciousness of the thing, you have not the cause or foundation upon which it is erected. I think that's huge, and gosh, he is hard to read. I agree with everybody out there. The guy writes 4 thoughts in one sentence, and you're like, whoa, hang on. I found myself reading some of those paragraphs 3, 4, 5 times. The one when I actually tried to write some notes, oh Lord, oh my gosh. Like I said, I've just been reading this at lunch. I'm like, okay, well, I managed to get through 4 pages. Woo! Okay, so by where we were at, so I wanted to kind of start off with the concept that first off, we are God made manifest. We're supposedly in his image and likeness. Now I'm borrowing some of the God stuff, even though I tend to be a little more universe, a little more source, a little more. So from this, just for those of you that are a little more on that side of the fence, just come with me a little bit and just let me borrow the term God a little bit, because I just think it's sort of fitting for Goddard, no pun intended, because it's kind of in his name. But we are apparently made in his image and likeness. Now, for those of you that aren't religious, I just want to say I was kind of brought up that way, and I do think there's things in the Bible that have not been totally contaminated, just saying. But I do think there's aspects. So just so we're all on the same page, I kind of think it's odd how books have been removed. Anyway, you can do research on it yourself, but there's a lot that is odd, makes me question. So we are made in his image and likeness, and by focusing on our desires, this is when he was talking about when you put on your garments. When we put on these garments, we have our little doubts. It's so hard to understand him, but the garment is kind of how we get out of the limitation. So when you put on your desire, when you put on this focus of what it is, living from within, living from that location, living from your manifestation, when you've got that garment on, let's use those terms. So when you're wearing a garment from there, you transcend your limitations. For that moment while you're imagining, for that moment while you are creating, for that moment while you're telling universe, source, God, here is what I'd like to have. You are transcending all of your doubts, all of your limitations, all of the things that are considered handbrakes. You are a manifesting machine at full power. Well, if there's emotion and stuff attached, like if you really, let's just give it the full go, right? You feel it, you're tearing up because it feels so awesome, and you're in the house and you're holding, or you're like kissing on the when you're getting married or whatever, right? Whatever your amazing little moment, it totally hits you. You're a manifesting machine. It's almost like when we stop doing the exercises, we take the garment off almost. And a lot of us find ourselves asking questions. And questions are good, don't get me wrong, in general. But when you believe, quote unquote, and I've heard people say they believe, but yet are still questioning. It's funny how questions are phrased sometimes. But when you believe something, you don't question. There's no need to question. I believe I will breathe. I don't question it. I don't worry about it. I don't think about it. I believe I could get another job if I have to. I wouldn't question it. I'd go about the things that you need to do to get that process going, and I would do it. If I desired to buy another car, I know that will work for sure. So we know these this manifestation techniques work, but the second we start questioning it, the second we start going, but am I doing any question? Focus, people. It's a focus-based universe, so please go with me on this. Allow for a second, because we do it all the time. We do it all the time, and those of us that you're a little more on the beginner side of things, this is really where you kind of want to start. Yeah, you want to do all the manifestation stuff, otherwise you're not going to see any results, right? If you're not doing and trying to manifest anything, nothing gets manifested. But right off the bat, the doubts, all these things are key. If you prove the idea conceptually, how we manifest, the whole way we imagine from, and then the law of attraction concepts that work with that, if you know it works, why would we question it? I do too. I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I don't. I do too. I think it's, like I said, it's why I backed away. A specific someone was. It was a decent show I did. Sometimes you gotta step back a little bit and kind of go, okay, obviously something's going on here, and I need to look at this differently. I need to change my perspective, if you will. That was a show we did recently as well. So again, it's a good thing to understand that while we are focusing on our desires, we are manifesting 100%. It's when we step back for that and start asking questions that we begin to create what he calls that the wave in the ocean, which I thought was actually written very beautifully. But let him ask, not doubting, for he who doubts is a wave of the sea that is tossed and battered by the winds. The second we doubt, we've lost it. It's just we're already questioning. We're already going down the path of handbrake. We're already slowing ourselves down. We're already putting on the brakes, pumping on whatever. It's the second we start speculating, questioning. Can I have this? When should I have this? Why don't I have it now? Every one of those questions, the underlying part of it, and this is why Goddard's so right on the money, the underlying theme is the doubting, the disbelief of the process of knowing, of yourself being worthy of having it, of all that you like. That is the underlying. You're breaking the foundation of what manifestation is. That is kind of the cornerstone, and then everything's built upon that. And that's why it's so frequently stated that your belief is key. If you can't believe, if you question, then we always say, start at something smaller. I know you want $1 million. I know you want your specific someone. Start manifesting some easier things multiple times and understand that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. And then you're not worried about it. That's the difference. You manifest a parking place. You imagine it. You see it. I'm pulling in. Ew, nice. And then you go down and it happens. You didn't think about it. You forgot about it. It was too stupid and small. The same exact thing goes to manifesting your specific someone. Problem is, like myself, a lot of us have doubts. A lot of us have questions. We need to address those. We need to ask, talk to yourself, whatever, be like, self, why are you, what are you scared of? What's going on? Why do you feel like you need to? And see, if you, just see what answer yourself then. I don't know. Don't do it in front of people, maybe. Everyone's like, well, as long as you don't talk to yourself. I'm like, oh, okay, I do that. And they're like, well, as long as you don't answer yourself. I'm like, I do that too. Might be crazy. I have great conversations with myself. And some say if you actually like yourself, right, you should theoretically be able to have a conversation with yourself and enjoy it. I do. Find myself very, I lose arguments frequently with myself, which is very strange. Yeah, it's hard to do. Yeah, so anyways, I did find a cool little Sir Alfred Lloyd Tennyson quote that I thought was actually very appropriate for this exact concept. So please give me a little leeway with it, but I think it's awesome. Ours is not to question why. Ours is to do and die. Meaning, questioning screws it up. Just do it. Do it. And then someday we kick it. Someday we go to the other side. We break the veil, right? So there you go. Just do. Don't question. That's all that. So exactly, speculation and question are basically proof that we have not attained that beingness that we desire, right? Because you've got to be that which you're seeking. You've got to be that energy. You've got to be that thing. Like if it's an issue of having a certain job, you have to be that level of talent, at least in that direction. So that's why a lot of people don't realize when they're going for a crazy job, there might be a lot of steps that have to happen before you're capable of being that job. So that all being said, these are, I think, some of the important concepts that go along with that. Questioning. We all do it. And it's really important to spend a little time with those questions. Those questions are your future. Those questions are your handbrake. You answer those questions. You come to terms with that karma. You address whatever it is that scares you. Whatever it is. You have some belief. Something's like it keeps popping up like I don't make enough money, or I'm not pretty enough, or whatever, I'm overweight. If you've got some sort of, that's your handbrake. Every time you say it, doing it, maybe your specific someone doesn't want that. They don't want that energy. It won't work. You're not the same frequency. Change that, address that. Oh my goodness, now you're the same frequency. Now you bump into each other at Starbucks tomorrow. That's how it works. Handbrakes jack our frequency. And if you're trying to attain something that requires a certain vibration, Law of Attraction talks about it. If you're trying to do that and you can't get yourself to that vibration, you will never, ever, ever have that. Ever, never, never once. No, if you can't get that vibration, you will never, ever, ever have it. Ever. You can't. It's impossible. And the same thing, someone asked me if you can have things happen again that maybe you missed a chance on. One, it depends on where that vibration is. If that vibration's lower than you, no, because you're already past it. If that vibration's something where maybe you went up to it and then dipped back down, because a lot of us will do it, there's little almost barriers that we have to work through sometimes, and sometimes getting through them and staying up there takes a little effort. But once you break through and get it and kind of understand what you're doing to stay there, you're at that level, right? So it just depends where this thing is that you might have missed. Again, if it's below you, probably not. You probably don't want to go to it. Better off just keep moving up, keep raising your vibrations, keep raising your energy. It's going to expand the things that you can have and how quickly you can have them. I hope this show makes sense. I don't know. It did to me. A lot of Believe songs, by the way, of course, came in with Believe with Cher. I think I said that. And I'm going to be going out with Believe by Lenny Kravitz. There was a lot of really good songs that were literally titled Believe. And these two seem to fit. And so my buddy, Todd Anthony, he's going to be like, hey, you mentioned my name. And then he'll be like, I haven't watched that video yet. It'll happen. And then he'll finally watch it and be like, So, yeah, Todd Anthony brought up Cher, so he inspired that portion of it. Good buddy I work with. He's a really good guy. So, anywho, we're going to go to Dan Radio Style. If any of you would like to reach out and talk to me, do so, please, at danradiostyle@gmail.com. Ironically, it's basically the same name as my channel, just minus the space, because that won't go over real well. Heading out, Lenny Kravitz. Check it out. Believe, baby.
This RadioStyle. We got to stand up if we're gonna be free. Yeah. If you wanted to.